You're listening to In the Game.
This is Susan Elza, Athletic Director for Northwest ISD, and I'm here with Bill Patterson, and we're going to talk a little bit about his football season. We're off to a 1-4 start. I don't think that's indicative of how much we've improved this year. And Bill, what do you think? Being 1-4 and we're going into the South Lake game, what do you think since last year that we have done a good job improving on?
Well, I definitely think we've improved on our kids playing with great effort. We've done that. We've done a good job of that. We've made, I think, great strides defensively and gotten a lot better. We're a lot better at tackling and getting lined up right, which was a big deal, obviously, on defense. Offensively, we're still trying to find our true identity. We've had some injuries over there, but we're getting guys back. I still think we've got to be able to run the ball consistently on offense and and throw it when we want to instead of throw it when we have to. And when we throw the ball, we got to block, protect the quarterback. We got to catch the ball when it's thrown to us, and we got to make good passes. So I see improvements in a lot of areas.
If you could, you kind of identified some things that we probably still need to improve on. But if you could identify probably one thing maybe on offense, one thing on defense that you're really going to focus on these last 5 games, what would you say those things would be?
I think offensively, I think we're going to try to emphasize, and we've talked about it, consistency, being consistent. The last 2 games we've scored on the first or second drive. When we had the ball against Gower, we scored on the second drive. The other night we scored on our first drive, and that's all fine and good, but we've got to be consistent throughout the ball game. Start of the second half is a big thing. When we get the ball, we got to go drive down and score. Defensively, I think we've got this by the same token. We've got to make people punt, put them in a situation where we can create turnovers. And starting the second half the other night, Fossil Ridge was able to drive the ball on us. We got to prevent that.
You've got a mix of leadership on your team, I think. Just watching from the sidelines, you've got some senior leadership, but you've also got some young leadership from some juniors and sophomores. Who do you think are the leaders on your offensive and defensive squads?
Well, offensively, I think Sawyer Cooper, our center, has turned out to be a great leader. Also, Dakota Norton, our left tackle. Both those 2 guys are leaders on the field and, in the classroom. Both of them are ranked in the top 10% of the class, and they do a great job. Defensively, I think Shane King, our defensive end, has turned out to be a leader. And then, it's a little unusual, but our sophomore, Colton McDonald, I would say would be a definite leader on defense. I mean, he's vocal. He understands the speed of the game, and, so he's turned out to be a leader also, Colton McDonald.
Going into these last 5 games, besides winning, what do you think our focus is in these last 5 games? And obviously the goal is always to go out there on the field and win, but sometimes you got to take it down a little, make it a little smaller, and you've got maybe some defensive goals, maybe some special teams goals, offensive goals, I don't know. But what would you say that overall for your team you're looking to end these last 5 games being able to do?
Well, I think, and I've talked about it before, I think offensively, the last 5 games we've talked about, we want to average anywhere between 24 and 30 points a game. Defensively, we want to try to prevent people from scoring 16 or more points a game. So that's points-wise, that would be a goal that you could look for. I think that, anytime you've got young kids, you want to see them improve every week. And, like I stated earlier, last week against Fossil Ridge, we had 2 big turnovers and 2 big penalties. It's not, we're not as worried about the opponent like South Lake this week. I mean, we're going to have to play good to stay in the ball game and have a chance to win, which I think we can do. But we've got to stop beating ourselves, and that's the big thing. And that's the one thing that we talk about weekly, and our kids understand. And we've got 5 games left, and we feel very confident that we can win all 5 games. We've got to go, play. We've got to play better overall, and not just in spurts. I mean, we've played good. We got to put 4 quarters together and put a combination of an entire ball game together: offense, defense, and the kicking game.
That sounds great, Coach. Good luck to you the rest of the way. 5 games left. We've still got a legitimate shot of squeaking our way into the playoffs. We've got things to improve on. There's definitely been improvement over the course of this year, and good luck to y'all against the Dragons and the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
You're listening to In the Game.